Hello.
Yeah, here we are. We're live. Tagan, how's it going? This is Tagan and Dylan. We're at a Kerenel dinner, which is a program out of Gitcoin, where Tagan and I are actually in the same fellowship block, KB3, and we're sitting here with some of our colleagues in the fellowship. So, yeah, why don't you kind of introduce yourself and just share some of the things you've learned over dinner in this past couple minutes.
Thanks, Dylan. This is definitely a unique podcasting experience for me, so thank you for facilitating this.
Have you ever had a podcast in a restaurant before, right?
No.
Yeah.
I should do this more often. It's a great way to pass.
Right. Sometimes you got to just switch it up a little bit, and so it's incredible.
Yes, as you mentioned, I was in Kerenel Block 3, and my name is Tagan. I'm an artist and designer based in Atlanta, and I am building at the bleeding edge of digital media and blockchain technology.
Amazing. And kind of what are some of the aspirations you have kind of with the projects that you're working on? What are
Yes, I would say they're the same aspirations I've had really for about 8 years, looking for ways to have a global impact and build a global community. And I'm sorry, this won't be a short answer.
It doesn't have to be.
One of my first experiences abroad was in Jita, Ghana, and I traveled with a few other students to build compost toilets for a community. And this showed me a way that scalable, repeatable solutions could solve large, complex
Systematic,
issues.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And I continue to have these really dynamic global experiences, as well as gain experience in nonprofits, public policy, international policy, marketing, and technology. And I began to start to see, okay, what's working and what's not. And to be honest, a lot was not working until I got to podcasting. And I was like, oh, I can actually talk about real solutions here.
Yeah.
I can actually document stories and learn about problems that people are facing every day. So my aspirations for this space is to build real solutions that can have sustainable global impact.
Drop the mic, I think. Yeah. That's amazing, and doing it through voice, right, and stories, which is incredible. And like, I think you and I can connect in that, like building community through sound and motion, and like voice and digital really like resonates just really deeply with people when they listen to stories that they can relate to, and they hear people be vulnerable with each other, and that like just strengthens and weaves the general community that someone is working on. And when you hear someone, you can really tell whether or not they're in it or they're not, pretty easily from their voice tones, and you can like smile through the mic. Really is like a term we hear in sales, right? So yeah, you can really hear that through what you're working on as well.
Thank you. I appreciate you bringing up oral traditions. I think that is a lot of what continues to inspire me, even though when I originally started, I may not have realized it. One of my favorite podcast episodes I've ever done is called The Griot, and it's with my Nana. And I think these traditions that are as old as the Malian Empire of griots, of oral narratives documenting history, are so valuable because you realize stories allow you to understand things differently. It gives you context, and I think a lot of the way media has been constructed, there's heroes and there's villains and there's good and there's bad. There's
allies and predators, and right.
Beginning, middle, end, even.
Like the tribalism, right? Like even at this ETH conference, when people are like, "Who are you with?" is often the question. Like, who are you here representing with? Like, which tribe are you from? And like, people have the merch from one company and the other merch from the other. It's like, it's really ingrained.
I would say with that, I am happy to be a part of the Kerenel community because Kerenel actually has a interesting connotation when you hear it. People have mentioned to me that everyone I've met from Kerenel is just like a really great person.
Genuine, yeah.
But I have to shout out to Vivek because I really do believe that his intentional approach to the community has melted into everyone that comes into it, whether they notice it or not.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and if you've watched one of his talks, then you can really, I'm smiling because I got chills when you said that, because it ingrains in us, like how these like charismatic characters and leaders like lead. And like, I've been really resonating on the quote, like each one teach 10. And, at this rate, Vivek has been teaching quite a number more than 10, as, each block is a new group of individuals coming into the space. And, we just wanted to keep this short just because we have a couple members here I'm seeing. And why don't you leave us with something that really impacted you in your Kerenel, like, learnings, because you've written a couple written pieces on the like syllabus, and I think you've really digested the knowledge really well. Is there like a specific quote that resonates with you, or a specific nugget or kernel that like you like to share with others?
One quote that I really like from the syllabus is that if you try to change the world, it'll turn around and change you. I think that's really beautiful because it's definitely been my journey to enjoy the journey, to really enjoy developing as a human being, and enjoying this experience.
This lived experience, unlocking this lived experience. Wow, that's such a great place to leave us. And if people want to find your project and what you're working on, and how can they support you? What little
Yes, you can find me personally at the Tagan, TheTagan, and you can support the Artist Collective, where I chef it up. Opera sneaker, opera like and sneaker like your kicks. It's pretty simple.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much, and we'll stay on this journey of lifelong learning.